In a small village called Akwoma, there lived a young girl named Iwoma. She was a young, beautiful girl who lived with her uncle and his wife. She lost her parents when she was a child and was taken in by her uncle called Dozie. Iwoma was known for her extraordinary beauty and kindness. She was always smiling and showing humility. But behind those smiles were pains that no one knew about. Her uncle Dozie and his wife Amaka made life a living hell for Iwoma. She does all the cooking, fetching of firewood and water, including going to the market. Amaka, who was her uncle's wife, does nothing in the house. The only thing she usually do was yield at Iwoma at any given opportunity. She went as far as accusing Iwoma for being the reason she couldn't conceive all these years. Her uncle would yield at her, called her lazy and also a bad luck, and the reason for her parents' death. Iwoma would sit outside at night and cry. She would call her parents to come to her rescue. One day, Iwoma was sleeping in her room when her uncle walked into her room. He placed his hand on her mouth and said, "If you shout, I will kill you." He forced himself on her. And after he was done, as he was about leaving, he said to Iwoma, "If you ever mention this incident to anyone, consider yourself dead." Iwoma cried. She wished the world would just end. She hated herself and asked God why she was suffering. Iwoma continued her daily life, but she was never the same again. This incident did not stop. Her uncle kept taking advantage of her and would threaten to kill her if she ever spoke to anyone about it. Iwoma became a shadow of herself. Her once beautiful smile faded away. She became low in spirit and was always by herself. One morning, Iwoma woke up and ran to the back of the hut to vomit. She was pregnant. She cried and don't know what to do. She decided to confront her uncle that day. That evening, Iwoma went to her uncle to tell him she was pregnant and he is responsible for the pregnancy. Her uncle Dozie got angry. He was very furious and yelled at her. He called his wife Amaka and lied to her that Iwoma has been a wayward girl in the village and now she was pregnant. Amaka got angry and yelled at her. She told her to leave her house. Iwoma tried to explain to her, but she shut her up and sent her back in. Ihoma left her uncle's house with no place to go. She cried as she walked along the village. She finally found a big tree and she sat under the tree, cried. That night, she went to the village river and drowned herself. She couldn't face the shame of being pregnant for her uncle. 7 days later, her body floated to the river bank. Some villagers saw her and recognized her. They carried her back to the village and brought her to the village square. Some spiritual cleansing was done, and it was revealed that she committed suicide by drowning herself in the river due to the molestation she suffered from her uncle, Dozier. The villagers were shocked and also angry. Dozier and his wife Amaka was brought out before the villagers. They placed a curse on them and banished them from the land and never to return. Ihoma's corpse was buried in her father's compound, and some cleansing was done on the river for purification. And the river was named after her, Ihoma.